Hi everybody, it's us again. I'm here and I promised my mom I would do the introduction again, so here is Reverend Denelby Tyon.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
This week I was just going to talk a little bit about hesitation, I guess. Last week we really touched on procrastination.
Yes.
They go hand in hand. Obviously, I've known I needed to do this for some time, and it really hit me the other night. I was working on a school assignment and going through some old documents, trying to pull up an assignment I'd done in a previous class to use my notes. And I saw a document that was done in August of 2013 entitled Afraid in all capital letters. I wonder what that is. And so I opened it up, and it was I guess part of my journaling, just journaling that I had done one night.
But you don't even remember typing in
all
caps.
I don't really remember writing this document at all, but I mean, it's obviously my words. And I entitled it appropriately, I guess, because I promptly filed it away and forgot about it.
Nice.
Totally. So I wanted to read this to everybody, and it kind of touches on what I said last week. I just wanted to reiterate, I guess, my hesitation.
And you haven't read this one to me yet, have you?
No, I haven't. But in spite of my hesitation, I want y'all to know that I know I need to do this.
Even though earlier you were talking about, oh gosh, I don't know if I was really ready to do this every week. Man, what did I get myself into? Yeah.
Okay, so August 2013, it was dated. It just starts out, I have spent my life running from my obligation. For 48 years, so I was 48 years old, I have sensed that this was not my home, that my soul belonged elsewhere. God spoke to me as a child. He really did. And somehow I just knew who he was. My God, my true father. And he told me often that one day I would speak for him. I argued. But I have to do this. There are still so many people out there who are lost, and not because they don't know God or because they don't know how to accept Jesus as their Savior, who they shouldn't have sex with, or how to have a truly honest, intimate, spiritual relationship, but because they buy into the unrealistic stories told by organized religions who proclaim to know the truth, the light, the way. I know I'm going to be hated by a lot of people for what I'm saying here, but you know what? That's okay.
Yeah.
Because Jesus was hated too.
By a lot of people.
He had many enemies, but still many loved him. And yes, I accepted him as my Savior many years ago. I just never could believe that it was a requirement to accept him as our Savior in order to get into heaven.
I could never believe that either.
And that's why I cannot in good conscience call myself a Christian. But I also never really wanted to. And that's because I've known far too many hypocrites who have called themselves Christians. When I was young, growing up, I saw so much hypocrisy in the church. Mm-hmm. And I think I mentioned before children being basically brainwashed into saying words that they didn't even know what they meant.
Yeah, the 4-year-old boy you told me about before. I know the church is
true, and I know, yeah. And we won't get into details about that till I actually touch on that subject of my religious upbringing, but it frustrated me because I was only 6 years old and I could see right through these people. That
you could tell they didn't even know.
Yeah, it was all a show. It was all a show. They didn't really know God. And I guess I just always felt like I knew him so well because we were very connected. Always. I prefer to call myself, if I must choose a label, this says, a pantheist.
Pantheist.
And I think I had only recently heard that word.
At that point.
And that what might have been what prompted me to write this. A pantheist sees God everywhere.
I like that.
Pan meaning everything.
Big view. Yeah. That's cool.
I see God everywhere.
Kevin and I were just talking about that the other day. My 4-year-old son asked me, is God in the flowers too? Because he was picking me a flower.
That's cool.
And I told him, yes, of course. God is everywhere. God is in everything and everyone. And he got a little bit upset because he had picked the flower.
Oh, no.
I told him that's okay. God doesn't mind as long as we make sure that it goes back to the ground to feed the other flowers. So,
because it doesn't hurt him.
That's cool. Pantheist.
Yeah. I see God everywhere. He's in everything and everybody, regardless of skin type.
That's what I told him.
Skin type or number of legs, I wrote.
I like that.
Regardless of skin type or number of legs.
That's cool.
He is within us. He energizes us. He is us. And we are part of him.
Because he's so much more than just us as well.
So quite simply, that is my belief.
Yeah, that's the simple version.
Yet I have fought this urging my entire life to scream out before a crowd, can't you see this is all just an illusion? My phobia won. For all those years, I have hidden as much as possible. Feeling like Job. I've been afraid to proclaim what I know. Afraid to stand up for him. Afraid to confront the hypocrisy.
Not anymore.
But I know I have to tell my story. How I grew up frightened, feeling alone in this world. To be sexually molested as a preteen, although I was reassured that I was loved. How I ran from one marriage to the next, from one job to another. Changing career paths numerous times, trying to figure out what I was supposed to be doing. And how I was finally honestly humbled. And that's where it ends. That's
just that.
I suppose I was getting ready to lead into my life story there. I don't know. All I know is this has been weighing on my mind for a long time. And what was it, about a year or so ago that we started talking about using YouTube as an option?
Yeah, I brought it up when I started watching Steve Ramsey on my woodworking.
So it was last summer, actually.
It was the summer before that.
Was it the summer before that?
No. It was the summer of 2013 when I started woodworking, and I said, Mom, I think I'm going to start doing a YouTube channel. And
which, have you done that yet?
No. But I'm going to. I promise. I finally found a lady woodworker that I really like to look up to, so I think I'm finally going to start doing it. But anyway,
cool.
Yeah, I think that was the same time I had first talked about, you could just have your computer be your pulpit for a while before we have the church.
As we were talking about me knowing we needed to get the ministry going, and I'm like, but how am I ever going to do it?
We don't have a facility. We don't have room to build one, nor the funds. And I was like, well, there is internet now. Like, almost everyone watches YouTube. One channel or another, or a billion. I know I personally am subscribed to probably 50 channels.
Yeah.
But I know there are a lot of people that are subscribed to a lot more, and we figured this would be a good route to go. But again, that was a year and a half ago, so hesitation is high.
On both our parts.
Uh-huh.
Really?
I know.
Not that you're afraid to speak out in front of a crowd,
no,
but
I'm just
the commitment of getting around to doing it. That's what I was talking about earlier, the commitment. Is it too late to not do this?
Maybe that's why I like this lady woodworker. She just puts out a video whenever she has a new project.
She feels like it.
It's not like Steve, where he's like, okay, I'll be back here next Friday. I don't know what I'm doing yet.
Right. Well, you could do that too, but you're doing a new project almost every week, practically. So.
Yeah, whether it be for a customer or for myself.
Right.
But you have already made this promise to all of your future viewers, because I know we don't have very many yet, but You will, and someday someone will see this and you will inspire them.
Well, if I can touch even just one person and change somebody's life for the better,
Then you've done your job.
give them hope, then I feel like I've done my job. And yeah,
And that's what we're here to do.
hesitant as I am, I guess that's what I want to do
For him.
for him. So with that, I guess for this week, we'll say farewell.
Yeah.
Next week I'll try to come up with a more uplifting subject.
Right. Gosh, I don't
talking
know.
about hesitation.
That's a big part of our life.
It is.
All right. Well,
Take care, everyone.
See
God
ya.
bless.